You walk into that casino tonight, and the lights are flashing, the sounds are calling, and every machine looks like it's ready to make you rich. But here's what they don't want you to know. Some of those slots sitting right there on the floor are designed to keep you playing for hours without ever giving you what you're chasing. And tonight, I'm going to expose exactly which ones they are. My name comes from 15 years behind the scenes in 3 major casinos, and what I witnessed will shock you. I've seen the internal reports, I've watched the data, I've observed players pour thousands into machines that are mathematically designed to tease without delivering. And the casinos know exactly which games keep you hooked the longest while paying out the least. In this video, you're getting the insider knowledge that casino executives definitely don't want circulating. These are the 9 slot machines that every ex-casino employee warns their friends and family to avoid. Games that look incredible on the surface, but are secretly engineered to drain your bankroll through psychological manipulation and near-miss programming. Before we dive deep, I need to ask you something. Have you ever sat at a slot machine for more than 30 minutes waiting for a bonus that never came? Drop the name of that machine in the comments because I guarantee it's probably on this list. And if this video saves you money on your next casino visit, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, because we're about to pull back the curtain on secrets the casino industry definitely doesn't want you knowing. Let's jump right into the first machine that should send you running in the opposite direction. Machine number 1 is Mega Fortune Dynasty. This game hits the floor with all the flash you could want. Golden dragons, massive progressive jackpots displayed prominently at the top, and graphics that make you feel like you're about to unlock an ancient treasure vault. The music builds tension perfectly, and every spin feels like it could be the one that changes everything. But here's the brutal truth from someone who tracked the performance data on these machines. The bonus trigger rate on Mega Fortune Dynasty is absolutely devastating for players. You need 3 golden dragon symbols to activate the main feature, and while that sounds straightforward, the reality is completely different. This machine has been programmed to show you 2 dragon symbols constantly. I'm talking every 12 to 15 spins. You'll see 2 dragons land, and your brain immediately thinks you're on the verge of something big. Just one more symbol and you're in the bonus round. But that 3rd dragon almost never appears when you need it. The psychological manipulation here is incredible. Your mind starts creating patterns that don't exist. You convince yourself that the machine is warming up, that it's building towards something, that the next spin has to be the one. But the harsh reality is that you could sit there for 300 spins and still be waiting for that elusive 3rd dragon. And even when you finally do trigger the bonus after feeding the machine for an hour straight, the payout is usually a complete disappointment. You might get 8 free spins with a 2 times multiplier, which sounds decent until you calculate what you've already invested chasing it. Most players are down $60 to $80 by the time they see their first bonus, and that bonus typically pays back $15 to $20. Casino employees have a term for this design philosophy. We call it the hope and drain system. It gives you just enough hope to keep playing while systematically draining your bankroll in the process. Machine number 2 will break your heart even faster. Dragon's Treasure Infinity looks like every fantasy adventure you've ever dreamed of. Epic dragons soaring across the screen, treasure chests overflowing with gold, and stacked wild symbols that promise massive payouts. The marketing materials show players celebrating huge wins, and the game trailer makes it look like bonuses trigger constantly. The devastating reality is completely different. The free spin feature requires 3 scatter symbols, and they only appear on reels 2, 3, and 4. That limitation alone cuts your chances significantly, but the psychological torture goes much deeper. This machine excels at showing you 1 scatter, then a 2nd scatter, building that anticipation perfectly. Your heart starts pounding because you think this could be it. The 3rd reel spins slower, creating dramatic tension, and then lands 1 position above or below the scatter symbol you desperately need. I've personally witnessed players experience this exact sequence 8 times in a single session. 8 times they got within 1 symbol of the bonus, and 8 times the machine pulled it away at the last second. That's not coincidence or bad luck. That's intentional programming designed to create an emotional response that keeps you spinning. When you finally do trigger the free spins after burning through your entire budget, the bonus often pays less than what you spent in the last 10 minutes alone. The multipliers sound impressive until you realize the base symbols have been reduced to compensate for those flashy features. Machine number 3 takes psychological manipulation to an entirely different level. Celtic gold riches wraps itself in charming Irish folklore. Leprechauns dance across the screen, pots of gold gleam at the end of rainbows, and four-leaf clovers promise incredible luck. Everything about this game screams fun family entertainment. But Celtic Gold Riches has perfected the art of the near miss. The bonus requires 3 golden pot symbols to trigger a picking game where you select from various treasure chests. The concept sounds engaging, except those 3 pot symbols love to appear in the most frustrating ways possible. The 3rd pot symbol has a habit of landing just barely off the pay line. I'm talking about appearing on the very edge of the reel, technically visible but not officially in play. It creates this devastating almost feeling that keeps players convinced they're incredibly close to winning big. Here's what most players don't understand about how these machines actually work. The random number generator decides your outcome the instant you press that spin button. Everything you see afterward, the slow reel stops, the dramatic pauses, the symbols that almost land where you need them, that's all just visual theatre designed to keep you engaged. Celtic Gold Riches abuses that theatre more aggressively than almost any other machine on the floor. It shows you outcomes that feel like they should have won, but were never actually going to win from the moment you started the spin. Machine number 4 is going to surprise you because it comes from a beloved family of games. Buffalo Thunder looks like it should be a safe choice. The original Buffalo slot is considered a classic, and Buffalo Gold has earned respect from serious players over the years. But Buffalo Thunder represents everything wrong with how classic games get reimagined for modern casinos. This version features much tighter bonus triggers than its predecessors. While you still need 3 or more scatter symbols to activate free spins, the frequency of those scatters has been reduced dramatically to increase volatility and extend playtime. I've documented sessions where players spent 200 spins at Buffalo Thunder without seeing a single bonus, while the same player might have triggered 2 or 3 bonuses on original Buffalo or Buffalo Gold in that same time frame. The difference comes down to the economics of game development and casino floor management. Buffalo Thunder costs significantly more to license and install because it's the premium version with enhanced graphics and sound design. Casinos offset that higher cost by configuring the game with tighter settings and longer dry spells between payouts. They know the Buffalo brand recognition will draw players regardless of the actual math underneath. The result is a machine that looks familiar and trustworthy, but delivers a much more punishing experience than players expect. The wins are bigger when they finally come, but most players run out of money long before they experience those rare big hits. The pattern continues with machine number 5. And this one might be the most deceptive of all. Money Storm Deluxe creates the perfect illusion of constant action and frequent payouts. Dollar bills literally rain across the screen, coins clink and jingle with every spin, and the upbeat soundtrack makes you feel like you're in the middle of a cash celebration. But Money Storm Deluxe has engineered a particularly cruel form of player manipulation. The bonus feature requires you to collect money symbols with values displayed on them during regular gameplay. Once you accumulate enough, you trigger a hold and spin feature where those symbols lock in place while you try to collect more. The money symbols appear just frequently enough to keep you believing you're making progress towards something significant. You'll see one symbol with a 15 credit value, then another 40 spins later with a 25 credit value, then another 60 spins after that. You're always building toward the bonus, but you never quite reach the threshold. This creates a psychological trap where walking away feels impossible because you've already invested so much progress toward the feature. Your mind treats those collected symbols like a deposit you can't afford to abandon. even though continuing to play is statistically guaranteed to cost you more than any potential bonus could pay back. Even when you do finally trigger the hold and spin feature, the prizes are typically underwhelming compared to the investment required to reach them. You might collect symbols worth a total of $28 after spending $90 chasing the feature. These first 5 machines represent just the beginning of what casino insiders know about games specifically designed to maximize player frustration while minimizing actual payouts. Each one uses different psychological techniques, but they all share the same fundamental goal of keeping you playing longer while delivering less value than you deserve. Machine number 6 is where things get really sinister, and this one catches players completely off guard. Cleopatra Mega Jackpots trades on one of the most recognizable names in slot machine history. The original Cleopatra game built a legendary reputation for fair play and decent payouts over decades of casino floor success. Players trust that name, and casinos exploit that trust ruthlessly. The Mega Jackpots version cranks up the volatility to absolutely brutal levels. The progressive jackpot display creates this illusion that you're always one spin away from a life-changing payout. But the base game has been tightened dramatically to fund those massive top prizes. Here's what the data shows. The free spin bonus that made original Cleopatra so beloved now triggers roughly 60% less frequently in the Mega Jackpots version. You're looking at potential dry spells of 150 to 200 spins without seeing any significant action whatsoever. But the psychological manipulation goes deeper than just reduced bonus frequency. This machine has been programmed to show you scatter symbols in patterns that create maximum frustration. You'll see one scatter land, then a second scatter appears, building that familiar excitement. The third reel slows down dramatically, and that final scatter symbol teases you by landing one position away from triggering the bonus. That sequence happens with mathematical precision, designed to keep you convinced that the next spin will be different. Your brain starts rationalizing why you should continue playing. Maybe the machine is warming up. Maybe it's building towards something big. Maybe that near miss means the bonus is coming soon. The truth is far more calculated. Those near misses are programmed events designed to trigger specific emotional responses that override logical decision-making. You're not getting unlucky. You're experiencing engineered manipulation that's been refined through decades of behavioral research. Machine number 7 represents everything wrong with how classic games get modernized for contemporary casino floors. Lightning Strike Supreme looks incredible, with its high-definition graphics, surround sound audio, and special effects that make every spin feel like a cinematic experience. The core mechanic revolves around collecting lightning bolt symbols that trigger a hold and respin feature. Land 6 or more lightning bolts and they lock in place while you get additional spins to collect more symbols and bigger payouts. The concept sounds engaging and the visual presentation is absolutely spectacular, but getting those initial 6 lightning bolts is where the psychological warfare begins. You'll consistently see 3 bolts, then 4, then 5, building anticipation with each additional symbol. Your mind starts calculating the potential payout from the hold and respin feature, and those calculations always look promising. The 6th lightning bolt almost never appears when you need it most. The machine will show you 5 bolts on the screen, pause dramatically for effect, and then deliver nothing on the final reels. This pattern repeats with mechanical precision designed to keep you spinning through increasingly larger bets. When you finally do trigger the hold and respin feature after burning through most of your bankroll, the actual payout rarely justifies the investment. You might lock in 6 lightning bolts, add 2 or 3 more during the rest spins, and walk away with $30 after spending $80 chasing the feature. The mathematical expectation never works in your favor, but the psychological presentation makes it feel like you're always on the verge of something spectacular. That gap between perception and reality is where casinos generate their highest profit margins. Machine number 8 will shock you because it comes from a franchise that players generally trust and respect. Wheel of Fortune. Triple Diamond trades on decades of brand recognition and positive associations with fair gameplay and entertaining bonus features. The original Wheel of Fortune slots earned their reputation through generous bonus trigger rates and payouts that felt proportional to the time and money invested. Players developed genuine affection for these games because they delivered consistent entertainment value without excessive manipulation. Triple Diamond version betrays that trust completely. The bonus wheel feature that defines the entire Wheel of Fortune experience now triggers significantly less frequently than previous versions. Instead of hitting the wheel bonus every 70 to 90 spins, you're looking at potential stretches of 150 to 200 spins without any bonus action. The near-miss programming on this machine reaches particularly cruel levels. You'll see 2 wheel symbols land in perfect position, building that classic anticipation that Wheel of Fortune players know and love. The third reel slows down to create maximum dramatic tension, and then lands one space above or below the wheel symbol you desperately need. This sequence repeats with calculated frequency, designed to keep you emotionally invested in the outcome. Your brain treats each near miss as evidence that the bonus is coming soon, when the reality is that those near misses are programmed events designed to extend your playtime without delivering actual value. When you finally do hit the wheel bonus after hours of frustration, the wheel often lands on the smallest possible multipliers. After all that waiting and anticipation, you might get 8 times your bet when you were hoping for something substantial enough to justify the extended session. Machine number 9 closes out our list with perhaps the most sophisticated psychological manipulation of all. Dragon Link Golden Century looks like it should be a safe choice because Dragon Link games have generally earned respect for fair bonus trigger rates and meaningful payouts. But Golden Century represents the worst evolution of the Dragon Link formula. The hold and spin feature that makes these games appealing requires 6 pearl symbols to activate, and those pearls have been programmed to appear in the most psychologically manipulative patterns possible. You'll see 3 pearls appear, building initial excitement about the potential bonus. Then a 4th pearl lands, increasing your anticipation. A 5th pearl appears, and your heart starts pounding because you're just 1 symbol away from the feature you've been chasing. Then the machine goes completely cold. No pearls for 40 or 50 spins, just enough time for doubt to creep in and make you question whether you should continue playing. Then suddenly, another pearl appears, reigniting hope and convincing you to keep spinning. This emotional rollercoaster continues for extended periods, keeping you trapped in a cycle of hope and disappointment that's been engineered to maximize your time and money investment. When you finally do trigger the hold and spin feature, the pearl values are typically much lower than other Dragon Link versions. You might lock in 6 pearls, add 3 more during the respins, and collect a total payout that barely covers the last 20 minutes of play, let alone the entire session you've invested chasing the feature. These 9 machines represent the most predatory examples of modern slot machine design, where psychological manipulation takes precedence over entertainment value or fair play. Each one uses different techniques, but they all share the same fundamental approach of maximizing player frustration while minimizing actual returns. The patterns are consistent across all these games. Extended dry spells between bonuses, near-miss programming designed to create false hope, bonus features that rarely justify the investment required to trigger them, and most importantly, psychological manipulation that overrides logical decision-making and keeps you playing far longer than you should. Longer than you should. Now you know exactly which machines to avoid when you walk into that casino tonight. These 9 slots represent the worst of what the industry has to offer, designed specifically to drain your bankroll through psychological manipulation rather than provide genuine entertainment value. The next time you see Mega Fortune Dynasty, Dragon's Treasure Infinity, Celtic Gold Riches, Buffalo Thunder, Money Storm Deluxe, Cleopatra Mega Jackpots, Lightning Strike Supreme, Wheel of Fortune Triple Diamond, or Dragon Link Golden Century calling your name. Remember everything we've covered and keep walking. Your wallet will thank you for it, and you'll have more money to play better games that actually respect your time and investment.